The sun is out, and I think the temperature's back above 40 degrees. Did it even get below 40 here? Nah. Because we live on a hill next to the water, the air is mixed up and the water is in the low 60s or maybe 50s now, and that keeps us from getting as cold as the inland areas. So what I'm saying is, it's less cold here at our house, so let's go out the door. Rex, come on. Oh, come on. So why is everyone hesitating? You're a Maine Coon, all covered in beautiful fur. So it's okay. Let's go. Come on, Rex. That's good. Yeah, slow and careful. A little groggy this morning. Slept in a little bit. Nevertheless, even though the sun's been up for 2 hours, it's still only 46 degrees with a full harvest moon. You know how close the moon is to Earth today, T-Rex? Wicked close. It's only 222,000 miles and 222,058 miles. And it just went down a short time ago. The moon, they call it the supermoon because it's as close as it comes to Earth in the entire year. It's the closest full moon. And it's right over there, right over the horizon. So interesting sky. I wasn't expecting to see a cloud. So a tiny little ocean effect cloud has developed with the air being colder than the ocean. Speaking of air colder than water, I think one of our best images this morning comes from Lake Placid, New York. Our ski buddy from Stowe is vacationing, like me vacationing every day, at Lake Placid, where the air, there's steam coming off the water that's in the 50s and the air that was in the 20s this morning. The 8 o'clock temperature map, it was still 28 degrees throughout much of Vermont, western Massachusetts, where the sky was clear and the wind was calm. It makes a big difference if you have no wind and the barometer is going up. I call it high barometer cold, and you get radiational cooling, and that's where it was in the 20s. Otherwise, in the hilltops, it was warmer. In Worcester, 37. Boston got to 40. Coldest so far, but still waiting on the first sub 40. That's going to be a while now. We're starting to warm up. Although more radiational cooling tonight and tomorrow night. Even though the air mass is warming up, we're still going to radiate at night. And an example, I call it low barometer cold when it's colder up in the sky, resulting in all this snow over the last few days. Mount Mansfield there, a lot of hiking. The stake at Mount Mansfield, thank you Scott Brayton and Andre for updating us, 14 inches. That goes in the books at National Weather Service in Burlington. Now, at Jay Peak, it's kind of arbitrary. We don't have an official station, but it was gorgeous this morning. And the total at Jay Peak, we're going to call it 15 inches. And shift over to Mount Washington, the view from Wildcat this morning. Note in the foreground, that's bare rock and bare ground at 4,062 feet at Wildcat, yet the summit picked up another 3.5, 4 inches yesterday. So we got more than 5 last week, and we've got more than a foot this week. So the October total, which has actually all happened in the last 10 days, is now up to 17.7 inches of snow at Mount Washington. And the average, I had it wrong yesterday at 19, the average for a total October is 17.6. So we're having an abnormally normal snowy October on Mount Washington, where the temperature this morning, look at the vertical profile. Talk about an inversion, high barometer cold. It was warmest, I hope this thermometer is accurate, at 4,000 feet. It was 40 degrees this morning. Colder below and colder above. So interesting layers in the atmosphere. Thermal layers. I always talk about differential heating of the atmosphere. So some of the coldest air with the upper level low is now sinking off to the south of New England, and there's a new storm forming at sea on the east side of our high pressure system. That's going to be a big ticket item, and it really shows up beautifully on our satellite image this morning. There it is, New England almost totally clear, and then this huge cloud south of New England. That low is going to sit there and deepen, and there's a storm warning in effect south of New England for the offshore waters east of New Jersey, well south of Nantucket, gusting over 40 knots. But we will have some influence. The isobars on that storm, look at it here,
on the Weather Prediction Center map. Now, they don't draw the precipitation over the ocean. They only draw the precipitation over the United States. So that's why it shows no precip, green, blue, purple, over Canada or the ocean. But you get the isobars, and you can see that those isobars do reach up into southern New England. So that flag right now is coming from the northeast. So we're going to have the influence of the combination on the edge of that huge high pressure system and the ocean storm. And speaking of that huge high pressure system over the eastern United States, second day in a row, hundreds of locations as cold as it gets on October, what is it? Is it the 17th? Yeah, full moon today, right? October 17th, even Milton, Florida. Interesting name. In Florida, just so hard hit by Milton. 39.9 degrees in the Florida Panhandle this morning. All those blue dots are record cold temperatures. So the coldest October 17th sunrise in our life in the books today. I was thinking today was going to be almost totally sunny, but obviously not. We've got some mid-level clouds, but for most of New England, it is a totally sunny day. And it is going to be great viewing with the full moon. Technically, the moon was full about 2 hours ago at 7:30 in the morning. And it's going to be coming up at about 2 minutes of 6 over there on the other side of my house. I'm not going to be able to see it, but we will be able to see the comet, which is going to be a little higher in the sky now. As it moves away from Earth, it's getting harder to see in that regard, but because it's getting higher in the sky, it's getting easier to see away from the lights. So it's kind of a wash. And if you go to that timeanddate.com website I talk about, it'll tell you the best viewing is at 7:34 tonight. And again, you just kind of go like this. It's going to be about that high above the horizon, right about there. And the first star you see is going to be Arcturus, twinkle, twinkle, little star. So it'll be to the left of Arcturus. And again, it's a narrow window. We saw it last night. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Let's do the weather. Here is the Boston 5-day forecast. And there's a tiny little cloud in our sky today. Otherwise, we are dry with temperatures pushing 60 today, and the wind is probably coming light onshore as it is right this minute. And the dew point, that's the blue line, is kind of going up and down a little bit, but it's still dry enough air that each night, especially away from the city, we can still cool to frosty 20s and 30s. But by day, now we're getting back up into the 60s over the weekend, pushing 70 on Saturday, and then in the 70s on Sunday and Monday. A glorious stretch of weather, as this usually happens when you have a cold high-pressure system that comes in. As it goes over you, you get cold nights and the days start getting warmer, and then when it gets off to your south, it starts getting warmer both day and night, and that's going to be the forecast. Go right to the Boston 15-day next, too. The wave, big wave of warmth with the cool pool now giving way, and then another little dent in the warmth late next week. Does not look that impressive. And there's no rain in sight after today, just sunshine and dry air. And there's another little rebound after cooling off a little bit late next week. Going out the last day on the right there is Halloween. And note, the wave goes back up. So we are pretty much done with any kind of wintry, stormy weather in October. Although that next Thursday, we'll have to talk about next Thursday a little bit. The Eldridge Farm Foundation fundraiser on October 26th is now in the 15-day forecast and looking good, as is the Southern New England Weather Conference the same day and a neighborhood Halloween party the same day. I am triple booked for October 26th. Plenty of time between now and then. What do you want to do? The weather, Tim. We want to do more weather. National Hurricane Center has diminished the possibility of that system coming off from Africa across the Atlantic, developing into Nadine. Now they say it's less than a 30% chance, even going out 7 days. And also a disturbed area, lots of rain and not organized thunderstorms over the Caribbean, also about a 20 or 30% probability of formation. And when you see Jim Cantori standing down on X, that's good news. And yeah, we were texting together last night also. He says, yeah, it looks like we're finally getting a rest from the hurricane season and perhaps putting it to bed. But hurricane season goes through November. And the N storm does not look like it's really in the cards. So let's go to our Euro that we do every day and put it into motion.
And there's our big high pressure system. The base of it's over the southeastern United States, and it kind of bends over into New England around that storm that's off to our south.
Not the strongest storm, but the high is so high that's going to create those big winds that stay just offshore. And that storm to our south, look at it kind of moving east so slowly. And if you keep an eye on it a little bit, it's bending to the south and then kind of turning back around, almost like it's going around Bermuda and circling back toward the Bahamas. So we have a bit of a blocking pattern. So that may be something to look at way off
East of Florida in a few days. But the big ticket item now is
the high pressure system just sitting over the eastern United States, gradually getting warmer and warmer. And it'll be a sea breeze near the coast here, but inland with the wind coming in from the west here by Monday and Tuesday. That'll push temperatures well into the 70s. And often you see record cold high pressure evolve into record warm high pressure. It happened right here, same place,
5 weeks ago, so it may be happening again. And then we'll stop at Thursday, okay? The storms and the snowy pattern I talked about in the west, those storms are going to lift into Canada and or break apart and move across the southern states and then try and rejoin very close to us. This is now next Thursday morning.
You have a 991 low to your north, to our north, and a front right over New England with the 540 blue line, cold enough for
snow coming back into Vermont. So that's our next cold front with a line of rain and perhaps some thunderstorms there. And remember yesterday I said could get interesting, and it is getting more interesting today that there may be some precipitation with that, although it looks like it's trying to diminish. And if anything from the tropics, which does not look like it's trying to get involved now, does somehow try to come north, next Thursday is the day of interest we'll be focusing on for perhaps some action here. But as quickly as a cool shot comes in next Thursday, it's going to lift back out. So put it back into motion and take it into next weekend, Friday the 25th, Saturday the 26th.
a new, which
Originally be cool high is going to turn into a warmer high. And this goes out to now Sunday the 27th, and that's day 10. So we'll stop it there at day 10, and we're pretty quiet coast to coast. There's a 990 low in northern Manitoba, and the flow around
the high pressure system in the east is going to be from the southwest all the way from Central America and Mexico right up
into Ontario, Canada. And if you look at the middle of the nation, you see the 570 line and the 576 line. That means temperatures in the heartland could be in the 80s to near 90 here as we head out almost to Halloween. That's a few days before Halloween. Record warmth could be coming our way. Talk about it a lot. Everything works in waves. So that's the end of the weather forecast. Mostly beautiful, although look how much our sky has changed just in the 11 minutes and 48 seconds I've been out the door so far. With these clouds coming in off the ocean. Now, as the sun gets higher in the sky, even though it's a low October sun, these clouds probably burn off. But this is a wild card a little bit. That storm that's out over the ocean is going to have some influence in southeastern New England. And I think the surf is going to build. The ocean, I said we were done with the weather. Okay, the Ocean Prediction Center, I'll just tell you what it says, that we are going to have about a 3 to 4 foot swell today and tomorrow that could build to maybe a 5 to 7 foot swell at about 8 to 9 second period as we go into our weekend as ski weather evolves into surf weather. Speaking of ski weather, we've Josh, Wirth, and Sean, and everybody up at Jay supplied us a bunch more video with the GoPro yesterday. He says skiing Can-Am at Jay in November is almost unheard of. In October, it's never happened. He said it's the best skiing he's ever had in October. So we'll have a combination of me trying to call the play-by-play on my day yesterday.
T-Rex. Who taught T-Rex to do some T-Rex things? The mailman did. T-Rex, such a
Handsome walker. We went
for a walk with Rex, and then the mailman did the T-Rex thing. He taught him how to get on his
back legs and ask for food.
Politely for the most part, except for sometimes he barks. And then we'll take it into sunset here and the moon and TK.
I made a time lapse or a little video of the comet, but the still images looked better than the video. So you got to put your camera, if you have a camera, put it on a tripod for the best results if you're trying to photograph it. And once again, Jan Urquhart on Cape Cod wants to know, where's the best spot? If you can get to Scargo Tower, probably a great spot, or maybe Rock Harbor in Orleans, so you can look off to the just to the right of where the sun goes down is where the comet's going to be. All right, here's the Enmore from yesterday. One of the snowiest October 16th on record, and a comet and a moon. Wow. Our cup runneth over. Talk to you tomorrow.
Wow, it's more cloudy and looking more threatening today than yesterday, which is kind of surprising. It's all really low-level clouds, but I didn't expect this much. And there's also a bunch of virga out there. So snowflakes coming out of the clouds, and I didn't have time to set up my tripod, so no time lapse for you right now, but we've got the Stena Imprimis going by. IMO Max tanker. If you plant this with its stern in the ground in Boston, the bow would be as tall as those tall high-rises. Prudential Tower, John Hancock. Don't call me John Hancock. 2 Dalton Street. Hey, Captain, look at the size of that bridge. Wow, this is an exceptionally bright and big one. Right in the rooms there. It's the life raft, ready to be deployed if necessary. London. It's been rough going across the Atlantic Ocean this fall, that's for sure. Escorted by Independence. Yeah, I saw the tugboats go by a little while ago, so. Can you hear me? Over the wind. Pretty chilly.
When Rex knows it's time to go for a walk, he gets a little crazy. It gets hard to put the leash on him because he wants to just grab it and go out himself. Can I put the leash on? You're not gonna bite me?
All right, hold on. Wait for TK. Stop. No. Hey. Good boy. All right. Where's the leash? The cumulus clouds have got so thick there for a time, giving way to blue sky. The guys up at J Peak say, how come it's colder up top today than it was yesterday?
Yeah!
I don't know, maybe it's more windy. Maybe the dew point came down so it just feels colder. I'm not sure. But thanks for all the videos. We're gonna use those for the and more. Some GoPro from Josh. Look at this burning bush and birch. Euonymus. Yes, I know, Karen. It's invasive, but I didn't put it there. Oh, how pretty. Thanks, sunshine, for coming out right there at this very moment. The feel of October is returning after another cold 24 hours, and then we're gonna have the feel of late September by the weekend. Yeah. Doing our walk, I look over there, and over the burning bush, there goes a massive cruise ship out of Boston Harbor as a jet plane comes into Logan Airport. Oh, correction, that cruise ship is incoming. And there's that landmark in Winthrop, that water tower, red, white, blue. And falling leaves. And a T-Rex dog that blends. How cute is he? They come for you, T-Rex. And I bet Steve is right down there in the door, just waiting for us. Yep. How cute is this one? Where are you going, T-Rex? This way. Steve is always right here waiting for us, too. Huh, Steve? Where'd Rex go? Yeah. Steve does that cat hop thing that he does sometimes. Nope. He wishes he could go for a walk up the hill, and then T-Rex comes over here and stares at me because he knows that there are treats right here. And you want to see what he does for the treats? Kind of dances. And here's the man that taught T-Rex how to do the T-Rex thing. Right. Even if T-Rex just did it 3 minutes ago.
Hey, you. Oh, sit. Regular sit. Good boy. No. Good boy. There you go. Give me this one. Good boy. That's my buddy.
Mike, much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Dog trainer, you can do
One
that
more
too.
for the road. Jump over to me. Come on. Come over here. There you go. Good boy. All right, give me this one. No, just this one. That's a good boy. No, this one. That's a good boy. That's my buddy. That's my
T-Rex
buddy.
has taught all the other adults that he ever meets in his life how to do
No
that
more.
T-Rex thing.
Yep. That's it. Good
He
boy.
can only be so cute for so long before it gets a tad annoying, T.
No,
Rex.
he's not annoying me. I don't want to go through your whole stash over there, that's all. Good boy. All right, take
You
it
work for your money. Thanks.
easy. All right, you're welcome.
See ya.
All right.
Great guy. It's enough, T-Rex. You've had enough for a week. No, that's it. That's it. And still a couple of weeks from Halloween. The pumpkins look great, the chrysanthemums, and look what comes in the mail. The holiday 2024 edition of the Feet for Wide Foot People. I'm a wide foot person. That's it, Rex. You're done. You're done with that for now, anyway.
Ooh, there's something. Oh man. Canned hamster in Octoberary? Come on.
Losing the sun in our yard here, just about 4:45, but I love the low angle of the sun anyway on the beautiful fall plants, which incidentally spent all last winter here too. And let's go check out the backyard. Where's the moon? Almost a full moon. Because the moon is coming up a little later tonight, better chance of seeing a brighter comet. So we'll be on comet watch.
And look at that perfectly blue sky, all the way up to Jay Peak. Perfect snowleage images finally coming out with the cloud lifting of the trees, all orange, and the mountain all white. Very low tide. When you have a full or a new moon, it's low tide at sunrise and sunset. And there's that Bass Rock really sticking up. So very low tide, offshore wind, so we don't really have to worry about the very high tide later on. Looking good, Boston. Look at that mud over there. Howe's Neck. And beautiful over to Germantown. And right now the comet is up there, probably just above that tree. You're not going to be able to see it until this short window. So it's about 7:10, and I can see the comet despite all these lights on the horizon and my neighbors and my little crow there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pick it up on video, but I can get photographs of it. It's above that maple to the south of Arcturus, the bright star to its right. And by looking at my viewfinder, I can't even tell if I can see it here. So, well, there, it just changed a lot. Way too bright now. Something in the middle. It's hard to see. It's pretty tight to the maple tree. I'm gonna try and zoom in. See it? Let this go for a second and see if I can get it. All right, there's a plane coming into Logan. It's gonna go kind of right through the tail there. I think I see it in my viewfinder. There's another faint star above it. I should go look in the house to see what star that is. It's going right through the tail. The plane just went right through the tail. The ice ball from the Oort cloud. Now the plane is going above that star. Definitely seemed brighter last night. I think that may have to do with the moon, which is so bright right now.
but it's worth it. Let's go down the backyard. And just check out the moon, which is to the east of Saturn. All right, there it is. Get a little glory in there. Get some crickets over my left shoulder. Kenny Young on WZLX. Not sure how much of these edits I'm going to use, because we get the Hoot'n and Holler'n of Josh Wirth and company. Jay Peak Resort, where they're probably doing it again this morning. Indian summer around the corner this weekend and next week. Surf weather. This day of the full moon, October 17th, 2024. Yep, that's the moon. There's the iPhone green dot. And here's some time lapse and some more skiing.
Oh, foliage. Oh, that's closed.